Hi, my name is Sarah, and this is History and Histrionics. Next up on our New Jersey Ghost Town series is ONG'S HAT in Pemberton, New Jersey. The town gets its quirky name from the Ong family, who have lived in the area since before the Revolutionary War. Local lore dictates that in the late 18th century, Jacob Ong had his fancy silk hat stomped on by a jealous lady after she found him flirting with another. Angered by his ruined hat, Jacob flung it into a tree. It became a landmark, and whenever locals passed, they would say, "There's Ong's hat." Still others claim ONG'S HAT is just a misnomer for ONG'S HUT, referring to a building the family had set up on the land they purchased in the area. Whatever the story may be, the Ong family did have acreage and several buildings for their cedar business on the land where ONG'S HAT is now located. With a name like ONG'S HAT, it was destined to be an unusual place. The small plot of land has been the hub of mysteries, myths, and legends for at least 100 years. In 1917, a pine hawker and his wife went missing from their cabin and were never seen again. 9 years later, their bones were discovered scattered across 2 miles in Ong's Hat. Their murders were never solved, and it's rumored the investigator kept the skull in his office as a reminder of the cold case. 8 years later, in 1925, the bodies of 3 men were found, shot, and stuffed back into their car. The 3 men were known for shaking up rum runners in the Pine Barrens, as it became a popular place for prohibition. Their deaths were assumed to be a mob hit. In the 1980s, stories of shamanistic cults began to circulate. The alleged leader bought land near Ong's Hat and began to attract a following, which led to a commune on 200 acres of land. Among the cult's inhabitants were 2 former Princeton University scientists. Their theories on cognitive chaos and interdimensional travel had been rejected by the university, so the pair took their experiments to the Pine Barrens. It is said that through sensory deprivation vessels called eggs, the scientists were able to open interdimensional portals. Their operations were thwarted by the Black Ops who raided the compound, though it is rumored the portals still exist. If this sounds stranger than fiction, that's because it is, in fact, fiction. In the 1980s, through published zines and handmade pamphlets, 4 co-authors made Ong's Hat the seat of the very first alternate reality game. They called the experimental form of literature culture jamming. It's a mix of plausible theory with fictional events. Think of it as a historical creepypasta or Slenderman. In the mid-90s, during the internet's infancy, the fake interviews, articles, and pamphlets were uploaded into forums. Millions of downloads later, conspiracy theorists were convinced that the story of interdimensional travel in Ong's Hat was true, though the creator of the story has confirmed that the story was entertainment and a complete fabrication. It doesn't stop curious travelers from making pit stops into Ong's Hat. Would Orwell be proud or what? Thanks for listening, and remember to like, subscribe, and leave comments below.